Well, Tony Khan has made himself look like a complete fucking idiot this week. On one hand, he's buried his entire roster, absolutely everyone. And on the other, he's started some sort of smear campaign against WWE. So we'll get into those in a minute. But first, we have reached 500 subscribers. We are closing in on 3,000 watch hours. If you are new, please subscribe and like if you like the video. Usually I save this until right at the end of the video, but I thought I'll do it a bit different today. I'll bombard you with my self-promotion right at the beginning. Now that that's done, Tony Khan went on some fucking news channel with Mercedes Monè, and he said that Mercedes is perfect to be the face of AEW. Bear in mind, this is the same woman that went on some podcast the week before her debut and said that she plans to return to WWE one day. So, the self-proclaimed face of your company is already planning to fuck off. I mean, why would you say this? When most of us have seen her say that she's going to go back to WWE, you go on TV and say that she's the face of your company when she's not even been there for a full week, while you've got people that have been working for you for years, who have been working their fucking arses off, like MJF, and Wardlow, if he was pushed properly, which he hasn't been. He's been buried countless times. Wardlow could have been the face of your company. But no, it's going to Mercedes Monè, who is allegedly, and I say allegedly, on 10 million a year. Because that number is unbelievable, but it's the only number that we've been given so far. We haven't been given any other numbers. So that's what I'm going with. And I'm saying allegedly 10 million, because I don't believe it for a fucking second. If Tony Khan's paying her 10 million a year, oh, that motherfucker deserves to go bankrupt. But the audacity of them going on TV and saying this when she's not even been with you for a week. She's not proven to draw tickets or ratings. She hasn't proven anything to be a valuable asset to AEW. And there you are, burying your entire roster, everyone that's been with you since day one, just so you can make this fucking little brat happy. Because that's what she comes across, a brat. A narcissistic, entitled brat. That is her character. Not only is that her character, but it's clearly her in real life. Her real life persona and her character are one and the same, entitled brats. Hence why she walked out of WWE. But that's not it for Mercedes Monè now. She claims that her dreams were smashed in WWE. Her dreams were taken from her. Now, I can't remember where she said this, but she has gone on record saying this, that her dreams were taken away from her in WWE. Now, let's just talk about something for a minute. So, she was part of the first ever Women's Hell in a Cell match. She's a multi-time Raw Women's Champion, multi-time SmackDown Women's Champion, multi-time Women's Tag Team Champion, and a WrestleMania main eventer. Now, I'm going to ask, what dreams were taken? Because you've done them all. You've done them all. You've won every Women's Championship there is to win at that time. And you've main evented WrestleMania. Has Rey Mysterio ever main evented WrestleMania? No. Has AJ Styles ever main evented WrestleMania? No. Has CM Punk? No. These big names have never main evented WrestleMania. She has. And she claims she's hard done by. What the fuck? This is what I mean by entitled brat. Completely entitled, full of her own shit. That's what she is. And I'm sick of hearing about her. I'm sick of listening to her. I'm glad she went to AEW, because I would not be able to watch Raw or SmackDown when she's fucking on there. I was hoping and praying that she would go to AEW. A part of me thought she might appear in the Royal Rumble. And a part of me would have laughed at that because the AEW fans would go, ah. But she didn't. And luckily, she actually went to AEW. And thank God. Thank God, because she can do whatever the fuck she wants to do over there. Kill the company, be paid millions and millions and millions, and be an entitled brat. Cool. But let's get on to the Tony Khan smear campaign. So, I think last week, the New York Post put out an article about Mercedes Monè joining AEW, which they never cover wrestling. So, it's very obvious that Tony Khan has paid for this. However, it's a promotional tactic. I don't mind that. Don't care. If he wants to pay for an article to promote his show, cool. Go ahead. You need to promote. You need to put butts in seats. You need to get some people watching your show. I don't mind that. Don't care. What I do care about is Tony Khan has then paid them more money to do an article about WWE needing to look at themselves in the mirror because of AEW's free agency hiring. Now, they did say in this article that WWE is red hot and doesn't need them, and that's the point. That's the point. WWE doesn't need Ospreay. They don't need Okada. They don't need Monet. They don't need any of them. In fact, AEW doesn't need any of them. They don't. What AEW needs is better booking and focus on the people you've got. That's what AEW needs to do. But no, they sign fucking everyone, pay them tons of money. They're paying for Will Ospreay to fly to England, fly back to America for a taping, fly back to England every single week. Will Ospreay's getting 2 flights, which is being paid for by the company. There's no way Will Ospreay's paying for that. Tony Khan's paying for that. And they just make themselves look fucking stupid. When Tony Khan's going out there paying all this money and WWE are scoffing at it, and people are trying to say that WWE bad, well, because they don't want to pay more money than what these wrestlers are worth. Let Tony Khan do that. Let Tony Khan pay all that money to him. They can get a nice sum of money until the eventual death of AEW, which will happen. It will happen. I don't want it to happen, but it will. Tony Khan can do that. Tony Khan can pay all these wrestlers a lot of money until eventually the company collapses. And then these people will say, hey, can we go to WWE? I want this much money. They'll be humbled by WWE and they'll either accept the money that they're being offered by WWE or they'll fuck off to New Japan. Either way, Tony Khan is a fucking money mark. He needs to stop spending so much money. He needs to start focusing on his TV show. And he needs to stop letting the wrestlers do what they want, demand what they want, simply because he wants to be their friend. Ooh, friends! Wrestling friends! Ooh. If you got that, you're a real G, if you got that reference. But one more thing before we go. Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey has written a book. Well, I don't think she's wrote it. Someone else has wrote it for her. And in this book, she's talked about WWE and how they go to Saudi Arabia and basically condone the oppression of women. Now, Ronda Rousey herself has wrestled in Saudi Arabia. She has. And that isn't by force, because Kevin Owens chose not to go to Saudi Arabia. Kevin Owens, until Sami Zayn was allowed to go, Kevin Owens was never in Saudi. Simply because Sami was banned from going there because he's something to do with him being Syrian. And Kevin Owens said, no, if Sami can't go and get that payday, I'm not going either. Kevin Owens got no repercussions. So Ronda Rousey could have done that. Ronda Rousey could have said, I don't want to go there. They don't treat women properly, which they don't. To be honest, they don't. But Ronda Rousey could have said that. Instead, she took the money. She took the blood money. Ronda Rousey did. And now she's complaining, saying that WWE go to Saudi Arabia. Pick a lane. Pick a lane, you hypocrites. Okay? Excuse me. Ronda Rousey, I thought she was a right-winger. I thought she was awake to the cancel culture bullshit. Apparently not. Because all she's fucking done is fucking complain about women's rights, about how women are treated in WWE, about women in Saudi Arabia, even though she went and took that fucking money. She's a hypocrite. She's just as bad as everyone else I've talked about in this video. And Ronda Rousey, never return to WWE. We don't want you. We don't need you. Your promo skill is ass. You're an okay wrestler, sure. But you are not worth what you were worth in UFC. Simply put. Fuck you, Ronda. Fuck you, Mercedes. Fuck you, Tony Khan. Like, subscribe, follow me on X at DCrossman25. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.